Alright, so welcome back everybody. I know I haven't made a video in a long time, and I just wanted to, I guess, post a video up like this because somebody pressured me into making another video, or was asking me when was I gonna make another video in a while. And yeah, and I thought, you know what, I haven't made a video in a while, so why not? So you know who you are out there, so yeah. Kudos to nudging me about making a new video. For this video, I'm going to talk about the emphatic reflexive word. Okay, the emphatic reflexive word mismo that we use, and mismo is actually a borrowed Spanish word, but it morphed into something different in Cebuano. Well, the use kind of slightly morphed something different, but we still use it. And I'll show you how this word is used, alright? Mismo, and that's it, it's just mismo. Emphatic reflexive, and what is that? What does that mean, right? So emphatic, emphasizing, right? So we're emphasizing a pronoun. We use mismo to emphasize a pronoun. And what kind of pronoun we emphasize? It's the ones that are being the talk of the town, pretty much. The pronouns that are in focus, or the ones that show importance in the conversation. Reflexive because, well, it's done to a self, right? It's reflexive. It's an action. There's an action that's being, no, I guess you can say, maybe a story, something like that, some sort of action or some sort of reference, there you go, some sort of reference that's being done to a certain self, whether it's yourself, myself, themselves, right? It's reflexive. And we're gonna use mismo. We use mismo in Cebuano to combine this emphatic and reflexive way of emphasizing a self or some sort of pronoun. Now, since it's gonna show focus of it, or some sort of importance of a pronoun that we use, the pronouns are usually gonna be in the absolutive or actor focus, those absolutive case pronouns, or those actor focus pronouns, right? And you already know those. But there are some exceptions, right? So sometimes you can also use the oblique case pronouns, and you will see some examples. How do we use mismo? Well, mismo comes after the word. It modifies, right? And you will see here in the first sentence. I have 3 sentence examples here for you, so pay attention. Matud sa kontrata, ingon ni abogada nga ikaw lang mismo ang bag-ong tag-iya sa niyong balaya. Okay? Here we have our pronoun ikaw, and the word mismo is actually after it. So it comes after the word it modifies, or after the pronoun it modifies, right? Mismo is the one that's modifying this ikaw here, okay? So in this clause, right, ingon ni abogada nga ikaw mismo ang bagong tag-iya. We're saying that you yourself, right, only you yourself is the new, you're the new owner, okay? And I put here lang in parentheses because you can use this enclitic particle to show even more emphasis. Like you can create, or you can color, you can create an illustration or some sort of, you know, embellish the way you speak, or show some more emphasis that it's only you and no one else, right? You yourself, no one else, right? Or I don't need to put lang. If I say ikaw mismo, it's understandable that just to mean that you yourself. But if I put lang, I can change the meaning slightly and say it's only you yourself and no one else, right? And that's how we can embellish and make things a little more beautiful with expressing ourselves in Cebuano, right? So for this first sentence, you can see again that mismo goes after the pronoun it modifies. And notice too that ikaw is in the absolutive case. Okay, it's in the actor focus. It's ikaw because again, it's showing a pronoun that shows focus or importance. So we're talking about you and no one else, right? The next sentence, or the next example I have written down is kung, and I get again I put parentheses in this one. Okay, kung, because sometimes you don't need to have kung, right? Kung ako mismo dili ko gani mag-adto ug lain pagyud ang buhaton nako kaniya, right? if it were me, or if it's me, or if it were me, that's what it's saying, right? Or me, myself, comma, right? Ako mismo, comma, dili ko gani, blah, 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 right? Or if it were me, comma, blah, 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 blah. But I wouldn't blah, 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 blah. So here, again, you can see mismo comes after the word it modifies. The pronoun it modifies is ako. And notice again, ako is in the active focus or absolutive case. Ako mismo. Kung ako mismo, if it were me, myself, or it can translate to if it were myself, or it can translate it can also translate to if it were I, or if it were me, right? So I myself, comma, I wouldn't blah 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 blah. So that's how this is just a way that mismo can show emphasis. Again, it's an emphatic reflexive, so it can show emphasis to a pronoun that makes it reflexive to us, ourselves, you, yourself, or to someone else, him, her, themselves, right? It just shows how it can be emphasized in a reflexive way, right? So if it were me, myself, blah, 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 blah. And finally, here's an example that you can see that where mismo is not used in the active focus. So watch and pay attention. Nagpalit sila og usa ka dakong moskitero, pero para sa kanila mismo lang. Okay? And I'll say that one again. Nagpalit sila og usa ka dakong moskitero, pero para sa kanila mismo lang. And here it's showing that, again, mismo comes after the pronoun it modifies. So mismo, again, is modifying what pronoun? Kanila. And kanila is the oblique written in the oblique case, right? It's written at an objective or oblique case, kanila, to him or her, or with him or her, or for him or her. In this case, it makes sense, right? It's only for him or her themselves, like it's only for themselves, right? For themselves, sorry, it's plural. Kanila, it's for themselves, right? It's only for themselves because sila, kanila, right? They bought a big mosquitero, but it's only for themselves. It's only for them. If I don't put mismo here, para sa kanila lang, it still makes sense too. It translates to it's for themselves only. It's for themselves only. But if I add mismo, para sa kanila mismo lang, it shows more emphasis that it's only for themselves and no one else, okay? So it just adds that emphatic kind of emphasis, right? It emphasizes this whole just for you, for them only, right? Emphatic reflexive. That's what we mean by it. So we're emphasizing that something is just for themselves only and no one else, all right? And again, mismo, just if you're going to add mismo, it's just a way for you to express something emphatic, all right? So hopefully you learned something new with this video, and as always, if you have any questions, please write down comments.